guys, so I am back, as you can see, and I have realized that since I've made my channel, I have never explained to you guys, one, why my family became plant-based, um, two, we hit our year mark the day after Thanksgiving, actually, this year, of being plant-based for a whole year, and shocker, shocker, after being plant based for a year, I have decided to become what I am calling a plant based pescatarian, which I will go into details on what I'm talking about. So, yeah, guys. First of all, I want to say I hope everybody's having so far a wonderful holiday season and accomplishing everything that they want to accomplish this holiday season, and mostly just spending time with family and friends. um, I know us being a military family and also being stationed right now overseas in Okinawa, Japan, it can be difficult for military families to, you know, when the holidays come around, because we don't have friends and family close by that, you know, you're used to. So, if you are fortunate enough to be with your families and friends on this holiday season, be sure to, enjoy it. Don't take it for granted. Spend time with them, go see them, and just really enjoy your time. We're making the best of our situation, as most military families end up doing. And, some of the things we've been doing just to enjoy the holiday season is, one, I put up our Christmas tree, and these two little decorations. You probably can't see the one over here, but it's a little dog dressed up in Christmas decoration. And then I got a little North Pole sign for Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to put it up, because for one, our son, when we got here last year, he was only 5 months, or yeah, 5 months going on 6 months, when Christmas was here. So he wasn't crawling yet, he wasn't mobile, so it was no big deal. But now he is 18. Well, he's about to be 18 months. So he's walking, he's getting into everything, and I was like, do I want to put it up? And then all he's gonna do is pull everything down. But actually, I'm happy that I put it up, because once I put it up, I felt instantly like the holidays. I got into the spirit of the holidays, and I'm just happy. It was a good decision that I put it up. But yeah, but other than that, we've just been trying to take advantage of some free holiday things that they have going on the bases and things like that. They're really good at putting on a lot of activities and having things for the kids to do and stuff for you to take them to do and stuff like that for all ages, which is nice. But yeah, guys, that's not what this video is all about, but I just wanted to make sure I let you guys know. Just enjoy your time with your family and friends if you're able to, and just don't stress. The holiday season could be stressful sometimes, but just remember what it's for and what the reason is, and yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. But back to the topic of the video, um, why our family decided to go plant-based. So a year ago, when we got here, before Thanksgiving, we got here in November, and we were staying in a hotel on base because we hadn't yet gotten assigned where we were going to be living. And a little backstory, me personally, myself, I want to say back in 2010 or 2011, I've always been interested in being in plant-based and the whole plant-based lifestyle, or I should say vegan lifestyle, because back at the time, I never really heard plant-based, I just always heard vegan, 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 vegan. So I was like kind of skeptical of it, mostly because most of the things I heard about it, or whenever I was told about it, was usually from the stereotypical vegan person or people that you think about when you think of vegan, like PETA, for instance. Just very judgmental, kind of stuffing it down your throat, throwing it in your face, making you feel horrible for not being a vegan. But I just kept seeing it happen. And then I, also met people who weren't that way, that were living that lifestyle. And I went on the PETA page, because, one thing about me, I like to do my research, and I like to try to see stuff for myself, regardless of if you get those overwhelming and overbearing people who kind of push stuff in your face. But yeah, so I went on the PETA website, and they had a 30-day vegan challenge. So you'll be vegan for 30 days. So I read about it and stuff like that, and so I signed up for it, and I decided to do it. It was free. It didn't cost anything. You basically were just I'm joining the challenge, and then it was up to you whether you did it or not. There was no, you didn't pay, or nobody was gonna check in on you, make sure you were doing it. But yeah, so I decided to challenge myself, just a little personal goal, and I did it. And it was actually hard because, I thought it was going to be harder than it was at first, because around the time when I chose to do it was right in the middle of the holiday season. It was actually, like, I think a little bit before Thanksgiving, now that I think about it. And where I was working, and working at the time in like a 9-to-5 job where I worked, there were holiday parties going on or coming up, and just work meetings that I used to go to with my mom, and what we used to do, and we would go to really nice restaurants and stuff like that. So the temptation was going to be there. And I also worked, not only did I have, I had 2 jobs, and one of my jobs, my part-time job at the moment, at that time, was in a grocery store. And I worked at Publix, which, if you're from a state or, back home that has a Publix in it, you know what I mean. When you know about the deli, basically, and the bakery, and it's just good food in Publix. So, there was, like I said, definitely a lot of temptations that were going to be around. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, but I did it, and I did the whole 30 days. I didn't cheat. I didn't go off the path of being, vegan, and the commitment that I made. And I learned a lot, because there were things that I didn't even think, weren't gonna, like, let me let this make sense. What I'm trying to say is, I found out about things that weren't vegan that, to me, I was like, how is this not vegan? Like sugar, for instance. There were sugars that weren't vegan, and things of that nature. Things that I thought, like, oh, there definitely shouldn't be any animal products in this. There were, and I was shocked to find it out. So yeah, that was a little tricky in the beginning, because I had to actually read the packages and, learn everything from new. But I did it, and I stuck to it, and I felt good, actually. It was a good experience. It wasn't a bad experience. It wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be, or as hard as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I did it, and I felt great, honestly. After the 30 days, I felt great. Why I chose to go back to being a non-vegan, honestly, there's no reason why. I think mostly because I just did it for a challenge, and it was just that. There was no other reason for it. It was just to see if I could do it. And I did. And then I went back to my old lifestyle, basically, of eating what I used to eat before that. And then, I didn't do it, obviously, up until last year with my husband. And my husband was a little harder, because there were times before last year that I tried to talk to him about doing it, but there was... Hey, guys, so I'm back. I just had to go put my son back to sleep. But where did I leave off? Yeah, so I was saying that, in the past, I had been trying to talk to my husband about us, being plant-based, and, doing the big transition or whatever. But it just never seemed to be the right time. And his biggest thing at the time, before we came over here, we were living back in the States, in California, and he was like, he didn't want to start until we finished eating everything that we already had in the house. But I found in the past, like when I did my challenge, my 30-day vegan challenge, is that sometimes certain things you kind of have to do more drastically, because I felt like it just wasn't going to work doing it that way, because I feel like if you still have the temptations in the house, of all places, then the likelihood of you actually starting it just isn't going to happen. So, needless to say, we never actually started it. But fast forward to last year when we got to Japan, it kind of came up again. We were in a hotel, and I was just watching a bunch of stuff and just, just had time to just kind of look through videos and watch different documentaries and stuff like that. And of course, like a lot of people, I saw the What Health, no, what is it? Oh man, What in the Health? I think it was called, or it's called. But I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I saw that documentary, and I actually watched it by myself when I was in the room. And then when he came back, I showed it to him, and I was like, "Hey, check." I told him what it was because I don't believe in trying to blindside people and like just be like, "Oh, come watch this movie," and they don't know what it's about, and then like, boom, it's this, you know, horrible movie showing you all these things that you weren't ready to see. So I told him, what the documentary was about. I was upfront, I was honest, and I said, "Hey, I just want you to check it out, just to see what you think." I had my opinion, but I didn't want to really say it until he watched it, so we could actually have our dialogue and see exactly what he felt. And after watching it, it was very enlightening to both of us. And he was like, "You know what? Um, let's do it." And it was the perfect opportunity because like I said, we were still in the hotel at this point. We hadn't moved into our place yet. We hadn't even found a place yet to live. So, yeah, we figured it'd be the perfect time to start. We'll start from scratch. We don't have any groceries yet. Literally, we could start from the beginning. Whatever. So from the first grocery trip that we would have had to do once we got into our house, it would just be straight, from the beginning, bringing everything in that's only plant-based. So we were still in the hotel for Thanksgiving. So literally, Thanksgiving Day over here was our very last meal, non-plant-based meal. So the very next day, we were going to be moving into our apartment that we're in now, out in town, and that's when we started. So the day after Thanksgiving was the very first day that we went plant-based, and fast forward to now, we made it to a year, a little past a year now, because at the time that I'm making this video right now today, it's been I don't know how long, but basically the day after Thanksgiving, so up until now. So yeah, basically after watching the documentary and talking about it, our reason for becoming plant-based, and the reason why I keep saying plant-based and not really so much so vegan, is because we really didn't do it for like the ethical vegan reasons. Like it was mostly for the health, to see how it changes us health-wise, and which we know that just because you're vegan doesn't mean that you're healthy. There's very unhealthy vegans and plant-based people out there. It's how you choose to be in it that can make you either healthy or unhealthy. But we were trying to focus on the health part of it, so obviously, trying to do it as healthy, the healthiest way as possible, so that we can get the health benefits from it, to see how it changes us and how we felt after it and things of that nature, and stuff like that. So basically, our biggest reason was for the health and for the challenge to see if we could even do it and stick to it. So yeah, it wasn't really necessarily because of like the animals and stuff like that. I will say through the journey, it made me grow a little bit more personally, seeing like the compassionate side of it for the animals and things of that nature. I wouldn't say I'm 100% like as like so into it for that reason, like a lot of people are. I, within doing the journey too, we both still pretty much stay grounded in how we feel as far as not pushing our views onto people or pressuring people for it, because I think it's kind of hypocritical to do that personally, especially being that we basically our whole lives ate meat and animals and dairy and all that stuff like that. So it's kind of hypocritical to just judge somebody now all of a sudden because we chose to, try this lifestyle out, look down on other people because they're not doing it. I will say, obviously, when you're doing something, you tend to talk about it a little bit more, and because that's what you're doing, just like anybody else. So, yeah, we've had conversations, and people ask us, obviously, because what somebody's not doing, if they hear you're doing something that's different from what they're doing, they're going to show interest and, like anybody else, be curious. So, so yeah, we've talked about it, but only when people have asked us about it, or they want our thoughts and stuff like that. Because maybe a lot of people too, whether family or friends, um, once we told them that we were doing it, a lot of them actually were thinking about it themselves, but just never done it, or took that next step into trying it. So yeah, basically that's our journey into becoming plant based. Why we became plant based, and I know I mentioned in the beginning of the video as well that I um, would be transitioning into a plant-based pescatarian. Um, and basically, what that looks like for us, or for me anyways, is that after doing it for a year, I really liked being plant-based. It made me feel great. Honestly, I didn't really have any negatives, honestly, to say about being plant-based. It's definitely a good way to live. But for me personally, throughout this whole year and this whole journey, I never lost my craving or my desire to um, eat like seafood. um, I have kept that desire to want to eat it throughout the whole time, and I never did eat it for the whole year. We were strict to it, never veered off of it, and was only plant based. But I feel as though I'm a little bit more. I will be more happy with giving myself the option to be able to have it here and there when I want to. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't mean honestly that I'm going to even eat it every day. It's just having the option for myself to know that I can eat it if I want to eat it. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So pretty much we're still keeping the whole plant-based lifestyle, with, for myself, the option, and my husband too, of course, he feels the same way, with the option to eat seafood here and there when we feel like it. But as far as everything else, we don't want to, or don't plan on adding back in like dairy products, and any other like animal products of that nature. Now my husband, he wants to allow himself 5 days out of the year where he can eat whatever he wants if he chooses to. Doesn't mean he's going to utilize the 5 days out of the year, but if he wants to, they're there. So we have realized through doing this for a whole year that we enjoy it. Actually, it's not a bad lifestyle to have, and we feel as though, um, like we said, we want to definitely keep it for the base of our diet and lifestyle, as to what we do on a majority of the basis, but with giving ourselves the option to have something that's not plant-based if we feel like we want to. Yeah, so I know people are going to have their judgments about it. People may feel however they want to feel about it, but you have to do what works for you. So, don't let anybody make you feel bad for how you want to eat, how you choose to eat, or the lifestyle that you choose to live. Because at the end of the day, you have to be happy with the choices that you make and the lifestyle that you choose to lead and live. And for us, hey, I'm just proud of us for even doing it for a whole year, strictly not cheating, not veering off the path, and really just sticking to a true plant-based diet. And our son too, he did the same. At whatever we did, he did. So yeah, like I said, we are still basically keeping the base of the lifestyle, but we're just adding in that option to, you know, like for myself, seafood will be an option that I can allow myself to have if I choose. And my husband, he also will do that same thing, but he'll also have 5 days out of the year where, he can have whatever he wants if he chooses to. And who knows, down the road, we might end up reverting back to just only being plant-based and decide hey, we don't really want to eat meat at all ever again. But for now, having made it to our year mark and assessing how we feel, um, that was just for, especially for myself, a desire that just never really went away. And honestly, I've already had fish, my first meal with fish in it, which was salmon, and I enjoyed it. Honestly, I didn't feel bad about it. I didn't. It felt right to me, for me. So, and that's all that matters. If it feels right for you, and if you feel okay with it, that's all that matters. So just remember that. You know, you can try stuff out if you want to, and sometimes things may stick, things may not stick. For us, it has stuck basically, but with a little bit of leeway we're giving ourselves. To incorporate back in. So yeah, guys, that's basically it. I don't want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to let you guys know, because I realized that I never did, the reason basically why we chose to become a plant-based family. And now, having made it to our year mark, I wanted to let you guys know what our updates were and why I chose to add seafood back into my diet. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't want to make this too long, so I hope you guys enjoy the holiday season, and enjoy your family and friends if you are able to be around them. And if you're watching this and you're a military family like us, stay strong. Don't get discouraged around the holiday time. I know it can be um, hard sometimes to stay positive around the holiday times because you're not around family and friends. But just remember that, your family that you're wherever you're stationed with, is good enough. Make the best of it and get out and do stuff and decorate your house so that way it feels like the holidays. But yeah, guys, like always, be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe so you can get more updates from your girl. Hit that notification bell so you can see updates when I post my new videos, and drop a comment down below, and just let me know how you're doing, if you have what your plans are for this holiday season, if you're gonna hang out with family and friends, or if you're in the military, a military family like us. And also let me know if you're plant-based or not plant-based. All right, guys, till next time, peace.